thanks again. I I heard Shekhar Mehta speak back in May, and he was talking about there, each year, the president of Rotary International has, it's a real honor to be, but Shekhar Mehta made his year the year of the woman, for women's empowerment. And I was listening to his speech, and he used the word menstruation. And, you know, being a 70-year-old guy, I just kind of haven't heard that word for a while. And and he connected it to education, connected it to women being able to their economic well-being by not being able to, you know, work some of every month with the dignity that comes in a workplace. I really, I'm so pleased to be able to present Hannah Figliola and Becca Pohl.
Thank you, Tom. Hello, everyone. We're very excited to be here. I just want to ask your permission if I can share a screen so we can share a small presentation for you. Okay, I pass the microphone to Becca.
Okay, we're going to go back and forth between the slides. My name is Becca Pohl, and I'm past president of our Rotary Club here in Chapala. Thank you so much for inviting us to share with you today. And Hannah, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, I'm Hannah. I'm a menstrual health ambassador for Days for Girls. I mentor circles of girls, and I am the creator and director of Wise Girls, Niñas Sabias.
All right. So we'll just get right to the heart of the problem. I found out about 10 years ago that menstruation is a barrier to girls' education. This problem has a few facets that we'll explain to you in our presentation. And missing school a few days doesn't sound like a big deal, but when you look at the school year and there's upwards of 30 days of absence, it makes a big difference. So since menstruation is a natural cycle for all women, it should not be a barrier to education. And many studies have shown how much this menstruation is a barrier to girls.
Okay, so I made some notes because you have to think twice if you're going to give the microphone to me to talk about this project, and I don't want to lose myself. So we're going to make a little experiment here, okay? So we're going to talk about period stigma. So yes, you may or may not know this, but menstruation can really impact in a negative way girls' education and potential. So I just want to ask you, let me see, just raise your hand or make yourself note if you felt funny, weird, uncomfortable, cringy in any way when you first heard that the topic of this presentation was going to be women's periods. Okay, yeah, so we call this a menstruometer or the stigmometer. We do a similar exercise with girls on our Wise Girls workshop on the first day when we just first approach this very silent topic. Okay, so we asked the girls to write down in a piece of paper the first word that comes to their mind when I first say the forbidden word. The vast majority of girls write down words with a negative connotation. The most common words are fear, shame, disgust, pain. So all of this is part of the stigma that affects girls and women in many ways. Some of these repercussions of all negative associations with this biological event, which, by the way, is an expression of a healthy body, are girls being confined to their homes, girls being excluded from public spaces, girls missing days of school, dropping out, being left behind. So periods are not a problem, but unless they are seen as a problem, okay? Fast forward, it's possible for girls to shift the period narrative of stigma to a story of honor. At the end of the Wise Girls workshop, the girls get to bring a drawing about what they learned. In Circle, we share the inspiration. It's possible for girls to be initiated into the wonders of their bodies, for girls to understand the wisdom and inner guidance within their menstrual cycle, for a girl to fully embrace who she is. So girls have the opportunity to shift perspective. Girls who have the opportunity to shift their perspective become empowered. Look at that picture. They have the resources and mindset to make good decisions in life. Becca.
All right, so on the next slide, our history. So we actually met back in 2014 when I was looking for a translator to help to do the health teaching. So we really enjoyed working together. And since then, we have traveled up to the Sierra Madres, to the Huaratica, and to the Baruca in Costa Rica. We have enjoyed working together so much that we just keep coming back together time after time to, first of all, with Days for Girls, we work together. And now as we branch out into new territory once again. So back in, forget, like even before 2014, it was a year or so before that, I actually heard that there was a problem. I did not know that girls had trouble with managing their menstrual health. And so I helped to start a Days for Girls chapter in Alberta, and we made hundreds of kits. And Hannah and I actually ended up doing the teaching and giving out the majority of them. After moving to Mexico, I had hoped to start Women to Sew the kits and build an enterprise here. But I found that it didn't quite meet the goals in our area or the girls in our area. And we elaborated on that to come up with a little bit better idea that was a little bit more suited to our area, because we always have to look at culturally where the girls are and what is happening in our area. So I started to design my own, and it's a little bit simpler and smaller. It took about a year to get to where I was happy with it. And you'll see the one photo is my trials. I tried all sorts of styles, and I would ask the ladies what they thought about it. And so I kept giving them away to get tested, and they always said, "Oh, it's wonderful." And I said, "No, I just need some really harsh critiquing." And so I actually had to send some pads north and to get somebody else to critique them a little bit more. So I still have worked on it, and I had a friend of mine who helped streamline how to make them. And so I work with two sisters who sew when they can, and they care for their families also, so they don't have to leave home to go to work. It was my goal to create a great product that the girls would love, and it would also help to bring economy in the area.
Thank you, Becca. So I'll try to make it short and quick. This is the story of how Niñas Sabias was born. So I have to thank my experience with Days for Girls, with whom I continue to work here locally in Lake Chapala. So I started in 2017. The program was called Fluye. This was an extended program of the original Days for Girls curriculum, which lasts it's like a 2-hour teaching what Days for Girls does in order to distribute their kits, their menstrual pads. So I saw the necessity to extend the education part, because to talk about menstruation leads you to talk about your body, and girls and women do not know our bodies and do not know how they function. So I extended it to a 10-hour program. Okay, 2 hours each day in schools. We work from Monday to Friday. And so I continue to develop and to work with this program. I realized that the best way to teach this was in the format of the circle, the girls' circle. It's a safe space for them. And yeah, so in 2020 with the lockdown, in a conference I was invited to, many women from other countries wanted to learn how to teach this. So we started doing the teachers training online. Now we have 70 Wise Girls certified teachers in more than 9 countries or so. And yeah, up to now, 416 girls have received this 10-hour program that has 5 units and have been benefit and empowered by it. Okay, so Niñas Sabias. Okay, so there you can read our mission. Our mission, okay, our mission is to mentor girls to acknowledge their power and own it. Okay. Oops. We are Niñas Sabias, we're wise girls, and we empower girls to fully participate in school and life. Girls who acknowledge their power and own it make informed decisions with their bodies and for the future. Keeping girls in school lifts families and communities out of poverty. Niñas Sabias is committed to educating and uplifting girls so that they are less vulnerable to obstacles preventing access to education and the opportunity to achieve their dreams. Okay, so we have developed a 3-branch model to reach girls and young women in both remote and urban communities. The 3 branches allow us to weave education, empowerment, and entrepreneurship into the fabric of change. Our model consists in, okay, so this is branch number 1. I'm going to talk to you about it briefly. This is our menstrual education program. We call it the Wise Girls Workshop. It's what I just told you about. It's a 10-hour program, 5 units covering menstruation, menstrual health, menstrual taboos, sustainable menstrual management, and then female sexual anatomy, and of course, body literacy and fertility awareness. So girls understand their menstrual cycle and, very importantly, know and can interpret the language of our bodies that reveal when we're fertile and what does that mean. So yes, so they can be educated, empowered, and aware. Okay, me again. Okay, this is the other branch. This is what I told you before. This is the Wise Girls Teachers Training. We have done it online 3 times already. And for this year, we're gonna do one for Chiapas together with Partners in Health. And we're gonna do our first live Wise Teachers Training in Costa Rica. And Merlinda Gallegos is here joining us today. She is a resource and development manager for the project in Costa Rica, and she's also Niñas Sabias consultant, and I'm very happy that she's here. Maybe she can share a little bit of their experience after we finish. Okay.
All right,
Becca.
so the 3rd branch is micro enterprise. As I said, my goal is to help the economy and not just give away kits made by North Americans. It's a wonderful thing that many women have done, and I think it's absolutely beneficial that women continue to make kits to give to girls and refugee camps. There's so many things that we can do. But here in the lakeside area that I'm in, my hope was to actually help women to have some income at home also. And so in this family, is the 2 sisters. Nico is on the left and Sylvia is on the right. And because Nico was able to stay home and work, her daughter is the first girl to graduate high school in about 2 or 3 villages. So we were just so excited about this, and they had a very good income, and they were actually able to stay home because most women, after they have a baby, they leave the child with an oldest, like whoever's the oldest at home, and they have to leave home to go work. And my goal was to help women to stay home and be able to work from home. And they also are so thrilled to actually have a skill now that they can fix clothes and do other things. And they really love the fact that they're making pads for girls to help them stay in school.
Okay, so this is our 3 branches in a nutshell. So it's the menstrual health and the menstrual education program delivered in the communities by the teachers who are previously certified in a process in a training. And of course, it's the micro enterprise, the groups of women trained by Bella Femenina to manufacture the menstrual kits for distribution within the Wise Girls Workshop for the local markets. Okay, so together with you who are willing to, we can lead girls on the path to their own guardianship and genuine self-care. Please join us in our vision for all girls to become sanas, seguras, y sabias. That's strong, safe, and wise. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, we're here to help you out.
Hannah, I just want to finish off with saying that one of the reasons that I also feel so strongly about this endeavor is that as a nurse, I've never encountered so many women with vaginal infections. Actually, I found out that many women and girls only use 1 pad a day. So it's an expense that they can't afford. And I just feel if I can't do anything else in my life, if I can get kits to as many girls and women as possible, that's what I want to do. And with a teacher that Hannah trained, we just did a large secondary school, and it was paid for by a grant from a district in Arizona. And the thing is that these kits are so needed because the families have just enough money maybe to send the kids to school, that to buy disposable products is just not an option for them. So we get to help to keep the girls in school in a healthy way, and they actually get empowered and learn more about their bodies and their health and who they are becoming as women.
Thank you, Becca. I just want to say briefly that also here with us is Andrea Francini. She's our organizational development manager for Niñas Sabias and our grant writer. And she's here also to help us if you have any questions. Thank you so much for your listening.
And Hannah,
All right, if anybody has any questions, please raise your hand, and Terry, go ahead.
First of all, I want to thank you, Hannah and Becca, for joining us. I know that my fellow women Rotarian and men Rotarian are very, very excited to learn more, and we want to take the class, and we're looking forward to working with you to bring this wonderful, wonderful project to San Miguel de Allende. So thank you. So I encourage any of the women or men, please, please, please ask questions, because that's how we learn. And if you have any input on what we need, I know Carla, you work in the Campo and you're from the Campo, and so you know the needs of our young girls and women here. So please, please, this is your chance to ask questions.
Terry, we have one question in the chat from Liz. Do you include girls before they start menstruating?
Yes, that's our ideal age group, just before. So we call it niñas sabias. Niñas in Spanish is girls, like young girls, but our girls are that girls in the transition age, because it makes the whole world of a difference if they can anticipate and even wait for it with a good expectation. Okay, so yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
We have a question for Merlinda Gallegos on the screen. She's raising her hand. Merlinda, you need to unmute.
Buenos días a todos y todas. I am Merlinda Gallegos, and I'm captain of the cheerleaders for Niñas Sabias based out of Costa Rica. Thank you for giving Niñas Sabias Wise Girls this opportunity to partner with Rotary to join in your mission to what President Skip stated, change lives. As Archbishop Desmond Tutu stated, if we succeed in empowering girls, we will succeed in everything else. Niñas Sabias Wise Girls founder, my moon sister, Hannah Figueroa, has dedicated her life to empowering girls and changing lives. Niñas Sabias Wise Girls aligns with 6 of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals: good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, decent work and economic growth, and responsible consumption and production. I can just tell by these few minutes we've had together that there's a lot of synergy and alignment between Rotarian goals and Niñas Sabias. We recognize every little girl throughout Latino America and beyond will benefit from access to Niñas Sabias and Wise Girls. And with that in mind, we've actually partnered with Amigos of Costa Rica, which is a US-based nonprofit, and all donations made to them are obviously can be tax deductible. And with that, we've aligned here in Costa Rica. I'm sharing this you just to share this model that can also possibly benefit Rotary. So we've developed that pipeline here with Voces Nuestra, and Voces Nuestras is a Costa Rican-based nonprofit. But they work throughout Mesoamerica, obviously including Mexico. So if there's any way that we can get this synergy going to pass it throughout all of Mexico, and for your further Rotarians throughout the world, we are all about that, because this vision is just too beautiful and too big to limit to Mexico and Costa Rica. And if you have any questions online or offline, I'd be happy to discuss as well. Thank you.
Very good. Very good, Merlinda. Thank you very much. Ron Lennox has a question. Are the products washable? Are the products washable or reusable?
And the answer was yes.
Okay. Another question. I know the sourcing the product can be tricky in Mexico, but do you supply or provide information on menstrual cups?
Yes, absolutely. When we talk about menstrual management, we have to know that there are options, and not every option is suitable for every girl and every woman. So they have to know within these options, within the menstrual sustainable options, we have to talk about the menstrual cup. So girls at the appropriate age, and when they decide to, they know that they have this option too.
All right, we have a hand raised by Joanne. Joanne, go ahead.
Yes, I'm Joanne Babiak. I live in San Miguel now, but I used to live in the Lake Chapala area, and I was aware of the Days for Girls initiative there that's been running very successfully for many, many years. A lot of the expat women sew the kits. And I hosted a luncheon where a lovely young woman, young Mexican woman, came to talk about the initiative that actually operates all over the world, and also how it's operating at the Lake Chapala area. And it's not just sewing the kits. The kits, yes. The menstrual pads are usable. But the woman that came out, and I'm sorry, I can't remember her name, I have to look it up. But the Days for Girls coordinator, let's say coordinator, said that it's not just a matter of getting the material, sewing the kits, but there's a big educational component as well. She goes out to the different middle schools or high schools in the Lake Chapala area, and there is an educational component for boys and girls, not just girls, boys too, because there's a lot of misinformation, stigma, you name it. But the reality, the bottom line is that many Mexican young women are staying home like a week a month. They're losing a week out of every month of their schooling, which is not acceptable. And these kits are easy to sew. The Lake Chapala women have really, streamlined and simplified and sourced the materials for these kits. They're fun, they're funky, they're lovely fabrics and everything. They absolutely are sustainable and reusable. And this really is empowering young women to take back their lives and their bodies and not be stigmatized and lose their education. Because I think the woman said, you educate the girls, you educate the women, you educate the world. So this program has been very successfully operating in the Lake Chapala area under the Days for Girls banner. Okay, so that's what I have to say.
Me, Joanne, it was me. It was me.
It was you. I didn't recognize you because you're a blonde. Oh my God. Honestly.
My hair used to be dark.
Yes.
But I've been working with it.
Oh my God.
Girls. Yeah, it was Dan and me.
Yeah,
we did so much.
You came to the luncheon at,
yes.
Oh my God, the restaurant in San Antonio, my favorite rib place.
Yes, Joanne. I'm so glad to see you. It was me.
Wow, you look really well.
I'm still doing it. That's my local
before, but now you're hot. Holy cow.
Oh, thank you, John.
Okay, guys. Carla.
Wow.
Carla, go ahead. Carla, you have your hand raised.
Yes, well, I want to say congratulations for all the activities you developed for helping this very important topic for humans and more for women in this case, but also it's important for us to erase those barriers, just like Hannah said, like that limits or taboos that can be between the genders in this case, or the fear that you have to talk about some topics with your family or including with your mom, with your sisters, etc. It's very important this. And for the team of Midday Rotary Club, we need to see how this can be related with the dry toilet, because we're also applying the water, sanitation, and hygiene topics. And it's also very important because we have already this link with the women in the rural communities where the products are not very available for them. I was explaining last week to Terry and Lee that in the community where my family lives in, they are only like 3 little stores that usually sell like products for consumption, like food, etc. So it's very difficult when those stores that are not like open like all the time are not like able for you to go and buy these products that we need, no? When these stores are closed, they need to move into another community or also be able to have the money to go to come to the city and buy a backup for when they need it. And it's not like very comfortable like for you to go and ask for the neighbor, hi, can you help me because I don't have those products right now. So it's very important that we can think about this like an opportunity for us to link the project and also be able to help the girls, teenagers, and their moms to be able to adapt these alternatives, because we're also stopping the production of the trash and the impact that this creates in the communities specifically. So it is also very important that we need to have in mind the impact that this will create in their economy, but also in the production of the trash that we can just like stop creating. So it's very important because also, for example, I'm thinking right now that sometimes the transportation from town to the communities goes like for 1 to 2 hours. So it's like that's a period of time where you don't have like access to a toilet because the bus transportation do not have like a toilet, or you need to go like to the mercado and use one of those public toilets. So if we have this kind of backup that lasts longer for our care and that are also taking care of our health, will be like just wonderful. So congratulations for all of what you're doing.
All right, thank you, Carla. Anybody else have any other questions for our
If I
guests?
could just speak to the, there was a question about pads being washable. So our pads are generally fun colors made of organic bamboo velour, and they snap onto the underwear. It's several layers, and the first layer is an organic bamboo velour. Inside is it's a patented product. It's called Zorb. It's out of the United States. I haven't found something that will actually match it here. The next layer is PUL, polyurethane laminate, which does not allow anything to pass through. And then the bottom, we just do, you know, fun things just to keep it looking fun for the girls. They dry really fast. It doesn't take too much water. You wash them out. They dry quite fast. We actually have another product that sits on top to do extra absorbency. I won't get into that though for everybody. And then we also have a little bag, and it's also made out of the PUL. And we have different designs of them so that they can store their soiled pad inside of it. And you actually can get quite a bit of time and not have to change it too often. And so there's a few specific things the way we have designed it, with doing lines to allow the flow to stay within the middle, and the straps, the fact that they don't go all the way to the edge, so that the blood doesn't wick down below. And so I actually used my expertise as a wound care nurse in the past to try to figure this out and to go with it. And they're small, they're discreet, and they're very comfortable. So everybody absolutely loves them. They work well for the girls.
Go ahead, Tom. You have a question?
Well, when I looked at the Days for Girls pads, it seemed like that the kits, it seemed like there were some underwear for women that don't have underwear. So can you just tell me everything that's in there? They also put a little bar of soap and a Ziploc neck. And could you just describe everything on top of the pad?
Sure. So
Becca?
we have always a cute bag for them to carry things in. So if they need to take it out, it doesn't look, you know, ugly or anything, but we have lots of donated material, and we bring this in and we just use whichever for that, but we always make them look really fun. They get 4 of the pads, and I wasn't going to get into it, but we also have, they're called Labia Pads. Those who are interested can ask me more about those. When they're soiled, they go into this little bag. This takes place of the large Ziploc bag. And we don't have the large Ziploc bags because that's to wash them in. They're not needed like they are in some other countries. There is a purpose behind it, but in our area, we actually don't need that. So we have replaced it with this so that it's smaller and more discreet, that they can, you know, take it to the bathroom, or, you know, nobody's going to see in it. We definitely put in underwear. It is a fact that what you wear under your clothes changes either how you walk or how you hold yourself. And some girls actually don't have underwear and are quite happy to get them. And we can't give a product that snaps around underwear if you don't have underwear to put it onto. So we make sure that they start out with what they need. And we also do the soap and the washcloth because we teach about hygiene in the area and the importance of it. So each part of the kit has a distinct purpose to it.
David Bossman, you got your hand raised.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me? First of all, I wanted to thank all the presenters and of course our own special Carla. 1 or 2 things occurred to me. We had 50 people on the site today. Imagine if we could get this information out to 500. And the way to do it, I think, with the help of our own Ron Felton, is as you know, this session is recorded, which is wonderful. I know Ron will perhaps send the link out, and all of our Rotarians will get it out to 2 or 3 people. But something else occurs to me. This session is in English. If we can get, and this cannot be done now, but I'm really appealing to Terry and Nori and some of our other bilingual folks, if we can get this session in Spanish, okay, it would be wonderful, because it's the Mexican young ladies that we want to get this information to, and many of them cannot speak English. So let's put that on our agenda for the next membership meeting, and maybe we could figure something out. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Andrea.
I was going to say,
Andrea French.
There is a YouTube channel that Hannah has that has she has 7 different Spanish videos of what we're talking about here. So it is available in Spanish, and also the Niñas Sabias site is in Spanish and describes everything very well. So I would refer people to that. There's tons of Spanish material.
Okay, Andrea Francini.
Hi, I'm Andrea. Good morning, everyone. I'm actually based out of the United States. I'm here currently in Mexico working with Hannah. And I just wanted to share, as part of our model, that we have been working to incorporate how we're measuring and how we're monitoring our impact with the teachers and with the girls, and how we're contributing to girls staying in school and missing less days of school, as well as really monitoring and reporting on their change in perception and attitude. So I just wanted to share that within the model, we have been actively developing how we're evaluating and monitoring our impact as an organization.
Okay, thank you, Andrea.
Mm-hmm.
We have plumb run out of time, folks. And I really want to thank our guests, Becca and Niñas, for this amazing presentation today and educating us all. And so for your participation today, Ron, if we could get up on the screen our certificate of appreciation, a donation of 10 polio vaccines will be made in your honor as part, there it is right there. They're suitable for framing. In fact, we'll email them to you for your presentation to our club. A donation of 10 polio immunizations will be made in your honor to end the Polio Now campaign. We thank you both for being with us today. And
Bravo.
I know that there are a great number of people on this Zoom call. We had, as David Bossman mentioned, we had 50 people, and there are a lot of people interested in seeing a program like this implemented here in San Miguel de Allende. And if I know our members, it won't be long, and that's going to start to happen. So again, thank you both for being here. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will commence a meeting of the Community Projects Committee immediately after our general meeting today. Next week, Ron Lennox, what do we got going on next week?
Next week, we have April Gatos joining us, and she and an associate are going to talk about the importance of the watershed to San Miguel.
All right, very good. And with that, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.